What's good, y'all? Hope you're doing well. Today's shave will be kind of revisiting an old soap. Actually, this is my first artisan soap, the scent that is. And this is Barrister and Mann, Seville. I'm sure many of you guys are very familiar with this. This is a newer version in the Omnibus soap base. This has been in production, or it's been in the works for over a year and a half now. Yeah, quite a while. So, but really happy that I got it back. I actually sold off my Seville, and my buddy sent me a tub, so I was glad to have it back. For the brush of choice, I'll be going with my Black Eagle HT1 Buffalo Attack. Gonna load it for a good 30 seconds or so. But I've used this soap once, and I'm very pleased with this new base from Barrister and Mann. I know Will claims that it's his last soap base ever. I guess we'll see what happens in a few years down the line, if that, if that becomes a dated base and he changes his mind, or if this is it. Honestly, I think it's good enough to the point where it really doesn't matter if he updates it. It's just, you're gonna get amazing shaves no matter what at this point. Like, if you're not, then it's probably your technique. All right, I've loaded this plenty. Yeah, so the puck is, it's a bit hard. It's kind of hard like Excelsior. Yeah, it's about as hard. And I know that's actually one of the reasons that Will didn't make Soft Heart the permanent soap base, because the majority of us, not everyone, tended to prefer that over the Excelsior base. I just thought it was able to take more water, a bit creamier, a little bit better post shave. A lot of people didn't notice even the difference. I felt like I did. It had different ratios, even though it's the same ingredients. But anyways, let's get some water going here. Yeah, but anyways, I mean, like, I've always liked Excelsior as well. I just had my nitpicks about it, but I've always liked it. I've probably tried like 50 cents in Excelsior. There's just so many I've tried. I've used it over 100 times easily. I'm just really familiar with that base. But anyways, yeah, he made it so, he actually made an update a few months ago that made Soft Heart harder. And I think he was probably planning to switch. He probably would have switched to that as the permanent offering, but I think he knew that he had been working on this for over a year. So he was like probably just trying to stick it out till Omnibus was ready, and here we are. Oh yeah, shout out to Evolniffy. He tagged me in his video, his last video. I'll link his channel below. He tagged me. I think the title was something along the lines as First Good Shaving Soap, and he tagged me, so that's what I'm doing. I'm using, it's not the same exact soap, but it's the same scent. This was my very first artisan scent, alongside with Sterling Barbershop. This came in the same order, so I'll consider this my first. I had been using Parasso exclusively for a very long time before I tried this. And to be truthful with you guys, I really struggled to lather Excelsior for a long time. I really struggled because I had not used any artisan soaps before, and I don't think it's I didn't really know what to look for. Like, am I adding too much water, am I loading enough, etc., etc. But yeah, I revisited it like 6 months later, and I was able to get a great lather from it, and I actually finished that tub. One of the only soap tubs I finished from an artisan soap. And then I bought another one in Excelsior because I just couldn't live without that scent, and I loved it. But what I noticed actually in this Omnibus version is the soap strength is a little bit stronger, scent strength that is. I'd say this is about like a 5 or 6 out of 10, like medium, or maybe just over. I'd say it's about medium. It's like a strong medium, and I thought that the original Seville scents. The other 2 tubs I had were, well, not the original, but the other 2 tubs of Excelsior. I thought they were a bit weaker, like a 3 or a 4. So I'm glad to, maybe I got lucky with this, I don't know. But it seems like it's stronger, more prominent. And that's something you want with a citrus. Sometimes citrus die down, a lot of the times really, or most citruses die down really quickly. They don't they could have projection, but they tend to not have, they tend to not last as long. It really depends. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you want with a citrus. But anyways, yeah, to not really spoil anything, I feel that this base has improved in almost every metric that we tend to look at these days when it comes to shaving soaps. I think that, for one, it's easier to lather. Like, the lather started building a lot quicker than it typically takes me with Excelsior. Another noticeable thing I noticed, another thing I noticed was the post-shave was dramatically improved. I think in comparison, Excelsior just felt dry. Is it drying? Not really, but in comparison it did. So I definitely noticed there's a better post-shave. I mean, it's got almost like 40 ingredients. You would think there's some improvements there, but, and also notably, I noticed the residual slickness was improved. I used it with a street razor, I believe, last week, and with no soap on the face, it just felt crazy slick. And I think I'm able to notice it even after one use because, like I said, I'm very familiar with Excelsior, like probably a lot of us are who buy from that brand. And yeah, like I said, it's pretty noticeable. So some people, they don't notice. Talking to you, DK. Just kidding, brother. Yeah, so like, is it night and day better than Excelsior? Probably not. It's already good. That's already pretty damn good base, you know? And am I saying if you already own this scent, or let's say you already own a scent in Excelsior, I'm not saying go out and buy it in Omnibus, but what I'm also saying is I definitely noticed a difference. So it wasn't all for nothing, I would say. Not necessarily needed either, but you know, it's welcome, of course. And it seems like he centralized his pricing a bit to $20 or closer to it. So some prices went up, some prices went down, depending if it's a seasonal or what. But yeah, I mean, I think the most welcome thing is it's easier to lather, because a lot of new shavers, they're recommended this scent because it's very inoffensive. It's citrus forward. It's a barber shop. It's really hard not to like. Some people don't like it, but I think it's fine. I think it's more than fine, actually. It's great. But yeah, what I'm saying is a lot of beginners who are not really familiar with lathering, not that it's rocket science, but I, for one, struggled in the beginning myself. So with Excelsior, yeah, so you could attribute that to user error for sure, but at the same time, you also want something that can lather easily. So I think if a new shaver is getting into the hobby and they want to try a soap like Seville, because it's often recommended to newer shavers, they'll be right at home with this Omnibus soap base because it's easier to lather. Still can take a ton of water. I feel like the density is comparable to Excelsior, not any worse or better. It's just comparable. It's which is really good. That's something I want. Like, yeah, density is perfect. Like, there's nothing more I could ask for in terms of density. Some like MDC, for example, that one doesn't really have the best density, but it has high volume. So it's just kind of preference. I tend to prefer these denser soaps. It's not really needed, but it's just kind of like a nicer face feel, really. Yeah, and since we're at it and we're using this scent, I'll talk about the scent notes. Scent notes are bergamot, lemon, patchouli, oak moss, and lavender. I think a bergamot really kind of attributes to what makes it a barbershop, especially paired with the oak moss. When you have that bergamot and oak moss together, it really gives barbershop vibes. But when you add like a citrus to it, like lemon, it really kind of brightens it up a bit. It doesn't make it come off like overly herbaceous, probably from the rosemary. So yeah, I'd say this is a citrusy / herbaceous barbershop. So for the razor of choice, I'll be going with my Wolfman Titanium with a Kai blade, 105 gap, 1.05, and a Kai blade. We have about a day's growth, a little bit over. Fantastic razor, one of my favorites, if not my favorite. So I'm trying something new where I'm trying to do more hybrid passes. So I'm trying to hit against the grain more on the first pass. So there's only really 2 passes needed and like maybe some cleanups. Because what I found was when I'm doing 3 or 4 passes, I used to do 4 passes when I used to use a straight, and then I'd finish up on a DE razor. I would get more irritation just because even if I'm buffing on those passes too, there's just your skin's exposed to the blade quite a bit, and it's bound to happen. Even with good technique, you're just so at least on the neck, I typically go in that direction on the last pass, and I kind of did it on the first pass. So it took down quite a lot of growth. In my opinion, you can still see the growth up here. So yeah, you can see that comparison there. But yeah, like I said, the residual is just fantastic on this soap. Can't really ask for much more. And to me, it's like an all year round type of scent. I think that's why so many people love it. It's just very approachable, nothing challenging. If you want something challenging, this scent is probably not for you. Or if you don't like citrus or a rosemary or herb note, probably not for you. But I tend to enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah, so I'm really happy with this. I didn't get Vespers in the Omnibus base because I already have an Excelsior, and I can't justify it right now. I just have way too much soap. So I guess I'm gonna try to get a nick here. Yeah, I think I had an ingrown over there. Yep. So I'm gonna go up against here on the neck, and then we'll see how much growth is left. Yeah, but like I said, this stuff is crazy slick. It's especially welcome on straight razor shades because it's easier to lather and it's just super slick. Like, to me, it's noticeably more slick on that residual pat, when there's no lather left on the face, basically. So it makes, if I want to like buff or something, I don't have to reapply the lather as often. Hold on, let me get some alum here. And I'm just gonna keep going. So I'm gonna attempt to go against the grain here, and that's fine. Actually, I haven't been shaving as often lately. The last 2 or 3 weeks. I still shave every day, for the most part. There's been many stretches where I'll go 2 or 3 days. But typically I try to shave every day. I feel like my hair just grows back really quickly and it just doesn't look right if I let it go, but I guess I've been busy. I know you guys are probably really happy that James from Wolfman Razors finally brought back the titanium Wolfman. He has increased the price a bit, but I think that was the compromise he was willing to make. So people were begging him for it, and he's like, and he knows that titanium is harder to work with. So he said, let me give them what they want, but since this is probably more wear on his tools, he's gonna charge quite a bit more. But I think right now the pricing is, the way the pricing is set up, yeah, like that, the slickness is insane. I think the way the pricing is set up now, it's like there's like almost no point getting stainless steel unless you prefer heavier razors, because it's only a little bit more to get the titanium. It just, unless you're getting mirror polished stainless, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Unless, like I said, unless you prefer something heavier. So yeah, I mean, I could already tell it's just, yeah, it's really close. I pretty much did like 2 passes with cleanups. Didn't even have to reapply the lather. It's just crazy slick on the face. And I think that's attributed to the newer base here. I'm able to just buff on the face. Besides that ingrown nick, I don't have any irritation on my face right now. Feels pretty great. So yeah, I guess that's it for the shave. I'm not gonna apply a splash because I wanna, you know, get a good idea for the post shave, even though I did that last time. Still learning about the soap, but what I can tell you for sure after last time is post shave is definitely improved. You could probably forego an aftershave with it. It's not the best post shave I've ever tried. There's like probably 2 or 3 others I can think of that I prefer, but it's definitely up there. It's good enough to the point where it's like, you know, like it's good. It's not really about comparison at that point. But yeah, that was Seville in the Omnibus base. Really happy that we'll put this out without, you know, cranking up the price to $30. So great soap. It's hard, so it should last. So I'm pretty happy with Omnibus. And for the brush, I used the Black Eagle, and then the razor, the 105 tie, which everyone can order now, which is pretty awesome. All right, guys, that's it for the shave. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.